This is On the Record, where we cut through the chaos and bring you the most powerful trial moments of the week. I'm Court TV field reporter Cody Thomas, and we're taking you inside the trial of Nicholas Kassotis. Prosecutors say Kassotis murdered and dismembered his wife Mindi, then tried to cover it up. But his defense claims the couple was on the run, manipulated by a man posing as an FBI agent. We'll break down the key testimony, the evidence, and the mystery at the heart of this case. But first, let's back it up, because this case didn't start in a courtroom. It started with a gruesome discovery in the Georgia woods, something that no one should ever find.
December 2nd, 2022. Deer hunters in Riceboro, Georgia, find the torso of a nude, headless woman deep in the woods of a local hunting club. Investigators found the rest of her remains scattered within a 3 to 4 mile radius across 3 counties. The Georgia Bureau of Investigations released composite sketches of the unidentified woman in hopes of giving her a name. 5 months later, on May 11, 2023, police announced that they found the remains of Mindi Kassotis. They used DNA from family members to make the positive identification. Mindi Kassotis was 40 years old when she was killed. The day after her remains were identified, her husband, Nicholas, was arrested in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
So this case, as the court knows, is incredibly gruesome in a way that I believe will create additional trauma.
Nicholas Kassotis, who is also known by the alias Nicholas Killian James Stark, was extradited back to Georgia and charged with malice murder, aggravated assault, and removal of human body parts from the scene of death. Prosecutors say in the months before Mindi's death, she and Nicholas were on the run because of an outstanding $1.5 million judgment owed to his first wife, Heather Thomas.
Its motive for him being on the run, it explains the story started all because of this.
Local station WTOC was in the courtroom when his attorney argued that the money was not the motive, but that a mystery man named Jim McIntyre was involved with the case.
Jim McIntyre, whether clearly that wasn't his real name, absolutely exists. They were moving every few days, few weeks, few months at the control of this person that we'll just keep calling Jim McIntyre.
Nicholas Kassotis has pleaded not guilty. If he is convicted, he could be sentenced to up to life in prison.
Now, you're about to hear some of the key moments from day one, including parts of opening statements and witness testimony that set the stage for what's to come.
Mr. Kassotis is accused of the unthinkable, the absolutely unthinkable, murdering his wife. But the truth, what really happened, is far more complex. Mr. and Mrs. Kassotis were told that they were targets. You'll hear testimony that a man calling himself Jim McIntyre, who knows if that is his real name, claiming to be with the FBI, told them that their lives were in danger, that they had to disappear. Every move they made, every lie that they both told, were driven by that fear. There's a lot that the state will not be able to show you. The state will not even be able to tell you how Mindi died. You're not going to hear a lot of evidence tying my client to this murder.
You're going to hear about that knife. And that knife, ladies and gentlemen, had a cleansing wipe wrapped around it. The killer didn't want to leave behind evidence. I submit to you that killer was a prosecutor. You're going to hear that there wasn't a lot to work with. You're going to hear they found a torso with no head and no legs. And that was all they had. That, the knife, and the tubs. I submit to you, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to hear that they were recovered exactly where Nicholas James Kassotis' vehicle was tracked. You're also going to hear him admit that he was there. The head, unfortunately, wasn't found until 5 days later, buried. And then you're going to hear and see Mr. Kassotis buying a shovel.
Let me direct your attention to Friday, December 2nd, 2022. Did you have occasion to be on the Portal Hunting Club property on that date.
Yes, sir.
So while you were out there hunting, did you see a deer?
Yes, sir.
Did you take a shot?
I did.
What happened after you took a shot?
I killed it.
Then what do you do after you shoot the deer?
Well, I went down there to look, and David, my next stander, he came down with me, and we walked down there and saw the deer. And that's when I saw the torso in the ditch, and I thought it was a hog, because there's a bunch of wild hogs down there, and I just thought it was a hog. And David and I looked at the deer, and then we went over. He said, "What's that?" And we went over and looked at it, and it wound up being a torso.
Is that the tote that was recovered on December 2nd of 2022?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell the jury what type of a tote is that? Are there any markings on it?
Yes, ma'am. So this is manufactured by the brand under the brand name Husky. It's a 25-gallon latch and stack tote. I believe our investigation indicated they're available at Home Depot.
And that was the one that was found near what portion of her remains?
This container was discovered near the location where Mindy's torso was found.
The second day of testimony brought more disturbing details as jurors heard how investigators identified Mindi Kassotis' remains and began piecing together how she died. While the defense continued to cast doubt on where the dismemberment occurred, forensic testimony made it clear Mindy's body was found in 5 pieces. 5 pieces.
You believe Mrs. Kassotis was not dismembered in that house?
I believe that there's not enough physical evidence available to make that determination decisively.
If she was dismembered in that house, what type of evidence would you have expected to find that might confirm that she was dismembered there, or lead you to believe with greater certainty that she may have been dismembered there?
So if somebody were to lay down, say, a tarp or something like that, then that might protect the items of furniture, the walls or floor from blood. So it just depends.
You found relatively little blood there, correct?
Correct.
What day did you go to the Portal Hunting Club down in Riceboro?
I went out that Monday, December 5th.
Okay, and when you got there on December 5th, why did you go there?
We were doing an extensive search that day, and I wanted to participate.
Had steps already been taken to try and identify her?
Yes.
Okay, but had they yielded any results?
No, they had not.
So you had to go to a private laboratory to be able to try the genetic genealogy?
That's correct.
As a result of that process, did you receive any information that assisted you in locating individuals that may have a connection to your deceased?
Yes, we did.
And who was that you went to speak with after that process?
The Agent Sands went to speak with Betsy Mabane.
Why did they go to speak with her?
So during the testing, they were able to basically build a family tree with connections to potential family members of the victim, and she was identified as a possible mother.
Did that ultimately provide you with identity for the purposes of knowing who that torso and the rest of the remains belonged to?
Yes, it did.
And who was that?
Mindi Mabane Kassotis.
Now I'm going to direct your attention to December 6th of 2022 and December 9th of 2022. Were you called upon to perform an autopsy on a person at the request of Special Agent Tracy Sands of the Georgia Bureau of Investigation and the coroner in this county?
Yes.
Do you recognize the labels that are affixed to each of those exhibits?
Yes, I do.
And are those, in fact, the actual bloodstain cards that you prepared and submitted to the crime laboratory for analysis?
Yes, they do appear to be.
Why are there 5 cards?
There are 5 cards because the body was received in 5 pieces. We received a right leg, we received a left leg, we received a head with a portion of the neck, the upper portion of the neck attached, and we received the torso with the lower portion of the neck and the arms attached. So we received the body in 5 pieces. The body had been dismembered. And so we collected a DNA sample from each one of those pieces, in part initially to ensure that they all went with the same person. The DNA from all 5 matched.
And in this case, were you able to determine a cause of death?
Yes.
And what was your determination?
Traumatic injuries?
And were you able to determine the manner of death?
Yes.
And what was that?
homicide.
DNA evidence, a suspicious knife purchase, and an emotional account of the moment Nicholas Kassotis told a friend his wife wasn't coming home. All of it played out in court today, but does this testimony connect Kassotis to Mindi's death, or does it leave room for doubt? Here are key moments from inside the courtroom.
Ms. Shepard, were you provided with biological evidence to analyze in connection with the case that we are here for today?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you, in fact, perform the analysis on those substances?
I did.
And what were the results and findings of your analysis?
The DNA obtained from each item contains a single profile of the same individual.
So at that time, although she was still unidentified white female, would it be fair to say that we knew then that she was at least all the same person?
That is correct.
Do you recognize the person who's depicted in this surveillance video attached to that exhibit?
Yes, sir. It's Mr. Kassotis.
Do you see anything under his arm?
It appears to be a Milwaukee knife.
Now, you mentioned Mr. Kassotis purchasing a Milwaukee knife at Home Depot, correct?
That's correct.
And it was the same model knife, right?
Correct.
But you have no way of knowing if that is the same knife, correct?
That is correct.
As far as you know, it could be a completely different knife.
That is correct.
Do you know at that time when you left for Thanksgiving, how was Mindi feeling?
She'd been having some blood pressure problems, so Nick had taken her to the hospital because they were going to do some testing and try to work on her blood pressure.
Can you tell the jury what happened when he got home?
Yes, I heard him come in the door, so I came bouncing out and I was like, "Hey, how's Mindi doing?" And he just started bawling, crying hysterically. That's when, all I could really understand was she's not coming home.
Did he eventually tell you she died?
Yes, and he did not know he didn't know exactly what had happened.
At that point, when he told you that she had died, did you have an opportunity?
Excuse me just a minute.
You said that he didn't have any idea how or why she died?
That's what he said. He said he was going the next day and they were going to talk to him and tell him what happened.
At that point, did he tell you what hospital?
No.
Did he tell you her doctor's name?
No.
Were you able to see her body?
No.
When you came back to the house, you said from the surgery, you said Mr. Kassotis helped you into the residence, is that right?
Yes.
Did Mr. Kassotis leave the residence?
Yes.
And where did you believe he was going?
To the hospital.
And at that point, what, if anything, happened after he left for the hospital?
Well, he came back home and he told us that she had died.
Did he discuss with you his concerns about her death at the hospital?
No, he told us he was going to go back and find out what had happened.
Did he ever provide you with any paperwork concerning her death?
No.
Did he ever explain to you what actions, if any, he was taking against the hospital, given what he had described to you?
No, he didn't.
The gruesome details are only part of this story. Now, next week, jurors will hear from key investigators and see more evidence prosecutors say ties Nicholas Kassotis to his wife's murder. The defense says it's all a big misunderstanding, but will the jury buy it? Questions that need answers. I'm Cody Thomas, and as always, thanks for listening. Stay safe, stay informed, and we'll see you next time we go back on the record.